Good morning. I'm Mary Winners, and you are watching Visionary Aging. I am the owner of About Senior Solutions, and we provide geriatric care management. What is that? That is planning, supporting advocacy for older adults. But we want you to live your best life now. So we put the show together so you would have resources and the ability to really expand your knowledge of the way you can live your best life through every age. So today we have a great show. We have Gigi Blandon on. She is one of our newest care managers. She has extreme passion for the people that we provide services for. And I want to share some stories with you because she's going to blow you away with how lovely and how supportive she is. But next we have a question from Steve McCullough. So let's go see if we have our intro here for him, and we'll get that question answered. All right, Steve, do we get a question today?
We do have a question. It comes from one of our viewers, and their mom has a wound that's being treated, but it's not responding to the treatment, and they want to know what other steps they take to address this wound.
Okay, so I'm sure they've probably talked with their doctor about it. I'm going to guess it's probably on a heel or maybe on the lower, kind of the coccyx area where you sit, or maybe it's on her back. We don't know.
Yeah, they didn't say.
Yeah, so they can be very tricky and they can be very serious, and it depends on what kind of medical issues you have now as far as the way they treat them. Oftentimes we see this a lot with people who have diabetes and circulation issues, obviously. So I would highly recommend that if she's having some great difficulty, couple things, I think the best thing we can do at any age for ourselves is to really look at our nutrition and really look at, are you hydrating enough, and are you eating really nutritious foods and looking away from things that could cause inflammation like sugars, and especially if you're diabetic, are you really maintaining that blood sugar level for yourself? That will help. That isn't the only thing. Wound care is a specialty, and it really is important to make sure that if that wound is not healing up, that you have a really great group that you're going to, and your doctor should know. So you can always reach out to your doctor, let them know that that's not healing and that you need potentially a specialist. And the stage wounds from 0 to 4, 4 being pretty darn bad. And it gets really risky when we're at that stage, but I've seen things heal beautifully. And I think with proper care and nutrition as well, and shifting appropriately, and a bigger picture of care, not just the wound care during that day, but what you're doing for yourself, or how your caregivers, your family, or your professional caregivers may be supporting you too. But some of it's up to you, and some of it can be really challenging. Sometimes it doesn't go away, but there are some really great wound specialists who can really, really help out. So I would definitely, if it's not helping, and if she reaches out to her doctor, I would talk to a wound care specialist. So that hopefully will help our viewer.
I think with today's technology too, you could take like a picture on your phone if you have a smartphone and send it to your doctor, and the doctor could give you some kind of idea of what's going on, right? You
might stage it and say how bad it is.
Right.
Like a 1 is you can just start seeing the skin kind of break open, and they can move really fast too, especially things like on heels when somebody's in pain. And you're kind of writhing in pain and you're shifting your feet quite a bit. It can really create that friction and a wound. So all kinds of extra little pads and ways of raising our feet or different body parts with extra cushion. There's some special mattresses too, air mattresses. Sometimes those are covered under insurance, sometimes they're not, but those are also something really good to look into. And yeah, it can be really tricky, but the better our food and hydration is too, the better we're making it on our bodies to heal too. So
diet is so important. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If you're diabetic.
It really, I mean, our food is medicine. So, if we're really eating really well, not to say that sometimes those things aren't still tricky, but the better we eat, the better our bodies treat us too.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So we have a really interesting birthday today. We have the past Attorney General of Massachusetts is turning 100. So let's go ahead and we'll wish him a little quick happy birthday.
Sounds good. We'll see you at the end.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
So we have the Attorney get myself back too, but here we go. We'll have Gigi on. We're going to talk a little bit about what she does and what she loves doing and how she makes a difference for the people at About Senior Solutions. So let's get her in here. Hey, Gigi, how are you today?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Yeah. So how long have you been with us now? It's not been a long time.
I think maybe 5 months or so. 5 months, about 5 months.
Yeah, and you've just really made such a great difference. We've been able to open that South Bay area of California, Southern California, not the Bay Area. Some people think of Northern or the San Francisco area, but you're working the Redondo Beach, Hermosa, Manhattan, and kind of that Palos Verdes area. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your background. I was really impressed with what you've done in the past and how long you've been providing service as a care manager. So share a little bit about your background.
Okay. I did my care management mainly in FQHC, which is a federally qualified health center, which is based off grants, really. I had about 60 patients or so that I would handle by myself and call them or visit them or have them come into the clinic and help them with referrals, transportation, advocating for a denied referral, which sometimes took a long time, just getting them maybe assistance with like my transgender population I helped, my older population I helped, young population. It was like a very big, vast amount of different type of people. Yeah. So I went there at St. John's, which was great. I learned a lot there. Before that, I was a care coordinator at also a smaller company, and that's where I learned about referrals and submitting and how to fight for the patient, negotiate with the insurance companies so a claim could get approved, a DME item, like this patient really needs it, or how come my patient can have more medication if they're in hospice, always battling between the pharmacy and the insurance companies. So I have that. And I also worked in different other organizations as front desk, back office, medical records. So I kind of learned a little bit about everything until I really found my passion, which was case management. I really, really love the feeling that I get when I get a win for them.
Yeah.
Like when I get something done
It's a win. Yeah.
It's a win. I'm like, yes. I think mainly it's because I see all my patients like they were my family. Even back then in FQHC, like I'm gonna advocate for my sister, my mom, whatever. I treat them like they're my family. Why didn't I get this referral approved? How come? Tell us why. Because they'll just send you a letter and they'll say denied. And my elderly patients at the FQHC, some of them didn't speak English, and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know why I got this denied." So I'd have to call and find out because they'll just say denied on there. Little things that could actually benefit their life or give them a greater life, like get to hematology, get to your breast. There was always sometimes like issues with that. But so I started feeling like this little, I don't know, like happiness when I would win those little wins. And then wins got bigger with case management. Like right now, currently I have one of, I mean, all my patients are my favorite, but his win was the best. He used to drink maybe 6 bottles a day of beer before, and he had a really bad knee, and his providers would not approve him for surgery because he was still drinking. It was affecting everything. So then I asked him, like, why do you drink? And he'd be like, I was drinking since I was young, but why do you like it? And he's like, I really like the taste.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had an idea and we got him non-alcoholic beer. We told him, because I don't like to keep things a kid. And I was honest. I said, I want you to try this alcoholic beer. Tell me if you like it. You know, we'll try it.
Yeah.
And he did. And now he doesn't even have beer, which makes me so happy. He has the non-alcoholic only.
Oh, okay. So I remember that. And I was surprised. And I think some of the beers are so good right now that you don't really notice the difference. And he obviously didn't care about having a buzz or not. He just liked the taste of the beer he was drinking. And I wish they had wines that were as good, that are non-alcoholic, because we have the same situation with you. But he's done a beautiful turnaround, because I think the other thing that you did so well with him was really to establish his goal and what he really wants. And he really wanted that knee surgery, and he was not going to get that knee surgery until his doctor knew that he wasn't drinking as much as he was, because he also was on blood thinners and other medications that could have some really serious side effects for him. And so it was amazing that he made this turnover. And I know he really appreciates you and he knows that you care about him and you want to see him really succeed and do well. So what's going on? I know, but let's tell everybody out there what's going on with him now.
So he, like I said, he stopped drinking. He has only his non-alcoholic. Maybe have like one little 8-ounce of beer, sometimes to celebrate like a good doctor visit or that he got out, things like that. But the PCP loved that he's back on track. His blood pressure is normal. He finally got his knee surgery. And he's in physical therapy now. Oh, I was also able to get him rails for outside because he had no like rails to grab onto.
You found a grant for him for that too. It didn't cost him a penny, which was also really amazing. So we do pay for ourselves in some of the wonderful things that we're able to get our clients, which is really great. So we're not like an FQHC where we have like teeny little bits of time that you're able to do, provide service and support for people. You can really focus on really digging in and getting what the individual needs and problem solve things, because you have a much smaller group of people that you're working with. And it's really wonderful. So I'm sorry, I cut you off. So tell me about
our director of patient services found me that grant and sent me the link, and I called and they did like the whole process. It took a couple of months, but luckily they put him in on his birthday, which was May 2nd, which was I don't know if it was a coincidence or just awesome timing. And he'll be out next Wednesday, but the rail's already in, so he won't have to grab onto the bushes or the roof, which is what he was doing before us. So I'm really happy about that.
He has a low roof.
It was hard seeing, like I would be so nervous until she sent the director of patient services, Jeannie, sent us that link and information. It was so helpful. It was free for our patient. It wasn't based on income. It was based on like risk for falls, and he was a high risk for falls. So that worked out pretty well. But the best thing I think he told me was that before he said we came on board about Senior Solutions and the case and the caregivers, he said that this has made him like really appreciate us and made his psychological, like this impact on him, that now he doesn't feel alone because he was alone before. He had no family, no friends. And he just said it was the best feeling to have someone there. He knows that he could call me and I'll be there and go to his appointments. And that feeling of like security that he has, that someone has his back, is what's made him feel like the best feeling he said that he's ever felt in a long time. Wow. And that really made my heart feel really good, because I really tried with him and I just wanted him to get his surgery, which we got to the goal. And now he's just in physical therapy and he's trying his best and he's pushing himself and trying to get back home. And they said he's made so much progress that he can come back home next Wednesday.
Wow. That's amazing. I love it. And, there's some other things too with him. He's a brilliant man. He actually calculated the trajectory of our astronauts coming back into the atmosphere. So pretty smart cookie. And he was starting to have some memory loss issues. And when we or you had him assessed with a physician, and we got the proper blood draw and really took a deep dive into some of those things, didn't he have some really sufficient, some significant losses with some vitamins and minerals in his body that were actually creating some of the memory loss?
Oh, yes. His vitamin B12 was beyond low. So much so that they gave, like he told him, you have to take a sublingual B12, vitamin B12, and a shot for B12.
Yeah, you'll definitely need a shot if it's too low.
So it was so low.
It would have continued to create more memory loss. So we were able to at least cut it off at the pass. And we don't normally have these tests. You have to ask for a vitamin B or vitamin D test. So it's not normal lab test. Please make sure that if you're listening, that you're asking for some of these extra things too in your lab work. So,
and another thing too, before us, he didn't have a PCP. He was using his cardiologist as his PCP. That's right. I mean, he had a doctor, but he's more focused on the heart, not the whole body of him. So when we went to the PCP, it was like the best thing, because he got the labs done, like you said. We got him on the right vitamins. His medications were adjusted. Just trying to together, the provider and I really worked, and he's at 100 right now. Like, I can't be any more proud of him and what he's done for himself. And because it comes from with you too. We could tell you, but you also have to want to do it. So I'm just so proud of him and how far he's come from December to now.
Yeah, no, so it's also really great because, well, Dr. Wallace, shout out to Dr. Wallace. He's phenomenal out in the South Bay area. And he's a sports medicine, more functional medicine doctor. So he's looking at the whole body. And so here we have a man in his 90s and he's seen a sports medicine doctor. And so he's using some of these techniques and looking at what an athlete, they would test an athlete potentially with, and injuries and so forth. But he's managed to move this into what's really important to a geriatric patient. And he's just done a beautiful job for any of the clients that we're with too. So we're really pleased with the care and support and service that we're getting from all of our providers that we hook into, which is also just a huge plus. So tell me a little bit more. I know there's another lady, we were talking about wounds earlier, and she had some really significant wounds. And just before you came on, I was working with her in the hospital. It was also a very interesting situation. She was kind of stuck in the middle between a conservatorship and couldn't move from the hospital or to her home. She was a hoarder and couldn't get her back into the house without making some major repairs. It was going to take time. So she was going to need at least an interim place to live. And we thought she was going to lose her leg based on what the doctors were saying at the hospital. She wasn't able to move out of the hospital because nobody was able to find a location. So we worked through getting that for her. We also made sure she went to a location where she could get the best wound care support. And she's recovering. Tell us a little bit more about what's happening with her.
Yeah, so you did a great job with her. She loves you. She still asks about you and everything.
I love her too.
Well, so when I got there, I think it was like stage 4. It was pretty bad.
Really bad. We thought she was going to lose her leg.
I thought for sure maybe it was going to go that route, but the more that they came to check on her, the wound care, they would come, I think, 3 times a week. And then slowly it was 2 times a week. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened. So I would call and follow up, and it was healing. I was really shocked because I really thought it was not going to go that route, but they gave her proper vitamins at the facility. Her nutrition is excellent, how they're feeding her, the type of food they're feeding her. They're really conscious about that, especially because of her wound, which I think really helped. I totally agree that nutrition makes a big difference in
really
the healing of anything skin related like that, and vitamins as well. So I was shocked when they said it's healing, so much so that they might stop wound care altogether soon, you know? Yeah. I did notice that they added a air mattress to help. If she's in the bed a lot, that helps with the circulation, and that's helpful for the wound healing. So that's a good thing to also keep in mind, to order that either through your insurance or to buy it out of pocket yourself, whichever route.
I know you'll fight for her to make sure it's covered, but that's it too. And I think it is covered. Her hospice, I think, covered that.
Yes, it covered it.
You know, share another little story about her mattress, which was also very interesting.
So I had my normal visit with her. I went to visit her and I show up and she's like, Gigi, my back, I'm sleeping on rocks. I said, oh no, what do you mean? What's going on?
An air mattress.
And she's like, this bed, they put a new bed out. They put a new bed. They didn't let me know. Oh, so I checked. I'm like, oh no, you have this air mattress on. She's like, yeah, it's like a bag of rocks under my back. I was like, so we checked the dial and it was on firm. So I was like, oh no, this is why it should be less. So, you know, it goes up and down to help your circulation. It was like on firm, and it was just not a good thing for her back. And it was starting to affect her hip. So she had bad hip pain. And so I was like, okay, so we lowered it to like on the dial. It was like a dial meter kind of thing. And we put it like soft medium, and she felt relief instantly. Sometimes there's things that you just need to pay attention to and observe before offering medication or going that route.
She got narcotics because, pain. Okay, here's some drugs.
Relief.
But what a huge difference. It's such a simple solution. I mean, it's insane that we would not look at some of the simpler things. I'm constantly saying now, let's not, when the check engine light comes on, let's see why the check engine light went on. Let's not cut it off by putting in a medication. Let's look at the root cause of what's going on. And you hit such a simple root cause to her pain and fixed it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think a big thing, like you said, is always ask why. Like I asked her, why do you like to drink? If is it the buzz or is it the flavor? What is it? Why does your back hurt? I mean, why is your back hurt? What is the problem, right? And I wasn't sure about that until she said this thing that they put on here, and then the dial, and I was like, oh no, I see. So it was a simple fix. At the end, she thanked me. She's like, what if you wouldn't have come today? She would have been like that until I showed up again, And I was like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Next time, call me. If you have any pain, call me. I'll come. I'm like 10 minutes away from you. I'll come and visit you. She's like, okay, now I know I could call you. I'm like, yeah, anytime you want, especially if you're in pain, so I could figure out what's happening, so I could call and get solutions for you and help you feel better. And she was like glad that I was just there that day.
I'm glad you were too. Well, we're going to bring Steve back on because we're going to talk about what day it is in sports. And we're also going to bring up and see what day it is in regards to the perk, which Ginny supports, which we all love. But hey, Steve, what is our perk for the day? What is our sports?
Your perk, you have the perk. You had an interview with Gigi. That's your perk. So we're gonna go way back. The year was 1904.
Wow, that is way back.
Cy Young pitched the first modern perfect game in Major League Baseball history. So for those people who are not fans of baseball, a perfect game is when the pitcher does not give up any runs, any hits, any walks. Nobody reaches base. So you have 27 people come up to bat and 27 people go down to bat. And so that was the first perfect game in modern Major League history. And Cy Young, just to give you a little bit of background on him, his real name is Denton True Young. He set a number of records that some will never, ever be broken. For instance, his career pitching record was 511 wins versus 315 losses. He pitched in 906 games, which that record actually has been broken, but nobody will ever reach 511 wins again. He also threw 749 complete games. So for 749 games in which he started, he finished those games. That record will never be broken.
Wow.
And in 1956, the Major League Baseball established a Cy Young Award to be given to the best pitcher of the year. And that was in honor of him. It was the year after he passed away. And so Cy Young lives on in Major League Baseball. So.
Great. That's a great story. I love it. Let's see. We have Ginny. If you want this for free, the perk, we have it available to you. And today it looks like it's World Health Day, but I don't know what's happening with our back screen today. So, but let's see, in 1970, John Wayne wins his only Oscar for his role in True Grit. He was in over 200 films, though, so that's really interesting that that he was in so many films. I don't know if he was ever nominated for anything else either, but I think it's kind of interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, ask for the perk. Ginny, call 626-359-0108, and we'll make sure that the perk gets out to you for free. And you can have fun with that with the kids when they're home from school, or just to set up as a nice conversation piece with your family member. And it's a really great brain teaser, great brain games, and way to reminisce and just communicate. It's a lot of fun. So I think, let's see, what else do we have today? I think, well, it's been raining off and on too. It's been very unusual. But anything exciting for the weekend?
Good, Gigi.
Oh, no, I might take my kids to Echo Park for the Swan Lake.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah.
How about you guys?
I will see my dad this weekend, so that'll be fun. Go have dinner or maybe a brunch somewhere, and might go out for a margarita tonight, Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yesterday was May the 4th be with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Well, I have a wedding and a funeral, so it sounds a little bit like a movie. So we'll see lots of wonderful people to see and celebrate. So hopefully that'll be, well, it will. It'll be a wonderful day tomorrow, but very busy. So I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. And until next week, enjoy. And if you need anything or you feel like you need an advocate, you know that Gigi's here in our office, and we have other really great, fantastic care managers. So let's go ahead and we'll take off for the day. Let's see.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oops. Bye.
Bye.